Hi, so this is me doing a voiceover of my own video because I wanted to put it out in English too, because I'm trying out this project where I put out the same video in Spanish and English. Hi, my name is Hane and I hope we'll have fun together in this video. So what I'm saying here is that I'm going to try to learn some Japanese and Korean just by watching some videos and comparing the subtitles to what they are saying in these languages. I don't have time right now to study these languages, but I have wanted to do that for a very long time, and I want to try out this method because when I was learning English, watching videos with subtitles helped me a lot. And first I would use subtitles in my own language, Spanish, but then I started using subtitles in English until finally I was able to not use them at all. Also, sorry if I'm not saying exactly what I said in the Spanish version, but I'm roughly going to get the same information across. So I wanted to try using the same method to learn these two languages, but the difference is that I don't know very much Japanese or Korean at all, so I'm not starting from zero, but I'm starting with very little knowledge. As for Korean, I can't even distinguish the individual words when I hear somebody speaking in that language, and so all I can hear is like a very long sentence that keeps going and going. Okay, so let's get into it. I'll put the links of the videos I've used below, but this one is from a YouTube channel that's called KBS World TV. It's called That's Why Destiny is Frightening, Marry Him If You Dare. Before going any further, I'm going to open a text document where I'll be writing down what we are going to be learning. I'll write the words how I would write them in Spanish. Not in Spanish, but I guess how I would write them to understand how they are pronounced.
감사합니다, 고객님. 또 문제 있으면 전화 주시고요. 지금까지 행복한 삶을 위한 호응전자 상담한 남이래였습니다. 네.
미래야, 또 그놈이야. 어떡해?
신길동 진상 엄마?
아니, 붉은 노을 진상 아빠.
넘겨.
So I caught some words that I already knew from here. Jiman, I think, means but, as in however. Ani is no. Sumnida is an ending of a word. It doesn't exactly mean anything in itself. Let's listen to this clip again to see if we can catch some more words. They said kamsamnida, which means thank you. It's one of the ways to say thank you. They also said de, which means yes, and the normalized way to write it is ne, but I don't know why they said that at the end of a sentence. Maybe it's the way they speak. This character is called Mire. The other woman was referring to the main character, calling her Mireo instead of only Mire, which is her name, so O must be an ending again. Okay, so what I'm saying here is that when we are learning a language, the other language works differently than ours. We don't say things the same way, we don't use the same words, and we don't use the same sentence structure and all of that. Asian languages, I think, tend to have these word endings that we don't know at least in the languages that I know. And so how can we learn the meaning of these endings? I think at first you just have to acknowledge that there is something that is separate from the main word and that adds some sort of meaning, but you don't need to know exactly what it is yet because we are focusing on the main words of the sentence to find out the basic meaning. By just acknowledging that this ending exists, we are already starting to learn by opening up new categories in our mind. At this point, we are just seeing them being used, these endings, and not already learning lists of things that we haven't seen in action. The next thing the woman says, I don't understand it very well, but it sounds to me like otoke. I remember having seen it before. We have Oma, which means mother, but in this case I think it means lady. In these two sentences, we have the same word, psycho. I won't write it down because I wouldn't know how to spell it, but then we also have oppa.
아빠.
넘겨.
고마워 미래야.
She says, let me speak to him, which I also couldn't spell, but then she says, coma Mirea, which means thank you, Mirea.
네, 안녕하십니까 고객님. 행복한 삶을 위한 호응전자.
붉은 노을.
네, 이문세의 붉은 노을 말씀하십니까? 알겠습니다.
We also have the word algesumnida, which I have seen before, but I don't remember what it means. Maybe it was something like correct or agreed or something like that.
먼저 끊으면 신고 들어오니까 잘 부탁해.
Maybe in this case we can write down the whole sentence. Let's see if these words come up later and we can see if they fit our theory.
네, 간주 중입니다 고객님. 뭐야, 불타는 금요일하네?
She says we, which I have seen before and I think it means why. She could be saying what? There won't be a new broadcast today, but instead of what, she's using the why.
저 자식 왜 PD 말에 대답도 안 해.
화가 난다 뭐 이거죠. 앵커 잘리고 자천당해가지고.
야, 원 MC로 그것도 김신혜 모닝쇼. 이름 걸고 새 프로 시작하는 게 좌천이냐?
아니 뭐 정승도 뭐 지가 싫으면 하겠어요.
Maybe Haga has something to do with being angry. And also his name is Kimchi, so that sound sh that they repeat, maybe it's because they are saying his name. Aniga Chongsundo, that's what I understand. Ani means no, so if that's what it means, and this sentence means I guess that's not what he wanted, then the word not would correspond to Ani. I don't know what the ga means. Maybe sundo is one word, but I'll write it separate, just in case. There are two verbs, want and guess. If we find out the meaning of any of these words later on, we can come back to this sentence and solve it as if it was a puzzle. The yo at the end of the word suyo, it's clear that that is a word ending. Ha normally would be the verb to do, which doesn't necessarily give us much information because my impression is that it is sometimes used as an auxiliary, which means that it could be helping another verb express its meaning. It's interesting to think about the word he in the English sentence. This is where we have to apply a change of mindset and not think that because in English we would use these words to express this meaning, that in the other language we would use the same words. Some of the same words will probably be used, but others not necessarily. Verbs express actions, and that is why you would need at least an equivalent verb in the other language to express the same action. But pronouns, for example, are more disposable. But regarding the I and the he, I believe that Asian languages don't use pronouns as much as we do in English or in Spanish. They don't need them because they know what they or who they are talking about even without them. So we shouldn't look for the exact words, but instead see what the general meaning of the sentence is and then look for words in the sentence in the other language that are getting across the different parts of that meaning. It can be a bit frustrating in the beginning because if you can't look for specific words, then it gets harder to understand what the words in the other language mean. But we will look at it like a puzzle. For now, we will write down what we do understand or whatever part of meaning we can find out from this, and we'll see what we can find out as we work through this. I have written all of these words in Korean separate because I don't know exactly which parts form a word, and this way I think it will be easier for me to use these words to find out the meaning of other sentences, because the different parts that I have put separate might mean different things even though it is within the same word. Ha can be a verb and suyo can be an ending, although it is used in this case in the same word. This way I think I will be able to distinguish the different parts of meaning better and use them to solve other sentences. For example, if I write aniga as one word, I won't know what that means, but I do know what ani means. It's starting to feel embarrassing to write down what I understand because I'm probably getting it very wrong. But I think generally I'm starting to hear what they are saying better, and I want to write it down this way because I think I will be able to come back to this and correct what I got wrong and fill in the meaning of the words. I think what we are seeing at this point in the episode is a trope. These characters are commenting on this other character, trying to say negative things about him, but in reality they are explaining why he's amazing. Oh yes, we have to add the translations. I don't know how they are using the word kure here, but I do remember seeing it before. I think it meant really or sure, and it is both used for asking and for confirming something. In this case, it might mean surely he will do well. There's another ha here if I've got it right. In this case, we do have the verb to do in the English translation. So it could be that ha is do. I kind of want to jump to another scene in this episode because it seems to me like these characters don't speak in a way that is easily understandable for me. I think I will jump to this part of the episode where this woman is talking to this other older woman.
마음으로는 그럴 수도 있겠다 싶은데 머리로는요. 그러니까 못하고 오셨다고요?
타임머신.
몇 년도에서 오셨다고요?
2038년.
38년이면 25년. 57이요?
왜? 젊어 보여서?
Maybe we could try this sentence. We chalmo boiso is what I understand. We already did we, which means why. And then this means why do I look young? Chal means good, but I don't know why they would use it in this sentence. It could be that this word is connected to the verb po, or maybe po is just the root of the verb, but it means to see. And here we have the word look, which is connected to see. Interestingly, although in Spain we don't say look young, and instead we would use the word seem in this for this particular meaning, in Latin America they do use the word see. They would say, do I see myself young? Which means, do I look young? With this we are getting into syntax, which is very interesting. This is still just a theory, which is important to keep in mind. I'm having fun thinking about somebody who speaks Korean watching me right now and seeing me tap around in the dark. But that's what you have to do to learn, and I chose to learn this way because it's fun. You have to make it fun and then do what you can and move forward. At first, when I hear a sentence in Korean, I think I won't be able to understand the words, but I do think that there's something coming out of this.
젊어 보여서? 나 거기서 노안이야. 근데 돈이 없어서 주사 몇 대를 겨우 때우느라 이 정도.
돈이 없다뇨. 이거 다 명품이잖아요.
이런 거 마트에 널렸어야.
I think I don't understand enough. We'll try with another sentence. Although wait, because opsoso is pretty basic and it means no.
시베리아까지 술도 쫙 풀리고.
거기 있는지 어떻게
우리나라 엄청 잘 나가. 근데 북한 여자들은 남자 다 뺏겼어.
She says 근데 and makes a pause. And it says but, so 근데 must mean but.
기집애들이 얼마나 애교를 떨고 순종적인지.
That's too hard, but I do understand another word that I knew, which is olmana. I think so must be the translation of olmana because I think olmana means a lot or so much.
나 너 좋은 남편 만나게 해주려고.
I think na means I, but she pauses after saying that. Maybe she wants to emphasize something, like the fact that she is there doing that. It's like saying, but luckily I am here. I do know the words yogi and chogi. Yogi means here and chogi means there. Could also be that cho means place. I'm in this place. Oh, but I remember now, it means good. Now I remember we said that before. You know what we could do? We could mark words with the same color so that we know that they are equivalent. So, cho is well in this sentence.
왜요? 아줌마 남편은 나쁜 사람이에요?
Interestingly, she asks why, but she doesn't say 왜, but 왜요.
넌 어쩜 그렇게 남의 일처럼 얘기하니? 네 일이야. 네 문제라고.
근데 아줌마 어느 날 갑자기 나타나서는 타임머신 타고 왔다. 내가 너다 그러면 아줌마 같으면 믿겠어요?
좋아. 그럼 진짜 믿게 해줄게.
Here's another sentence that I think I can transcribe approximately. We know what choa means. It means good, but in this case I think it's translated as fine because it's like saying, I accept that, which you could say fine. It doesn't mean good literally. Instead of that, it is used to express acceptance of what is going on, I guess you could say. I think they didn't translate kurom, or it is not included in the sentence in English. It is a word that they use a lot in Korean. I also don't know what the exact translation of chincha is, but I think it means really. I think they use it to insist or to emphasize something. I don't know why it is in this sentence. One technique that I use is to try to say the sentence only with the basic words. This way you can see which words you absolutely need and which ones are secondary. In this case, the word believe is a key word because it is the main one to communicate the meaning of this sentence. The characters talking about believing, that's the main idea they want to communicate. I'm going to mark these words because those are the only ones that we have left after realizing what the other ones mean. The other words are necessary, but the main concept is belief. The document is open, but I still need the video. Let's start.
悪いね、傘かけちゃって。
I'm itching to slow this down because he talks very fast, but I don't think it would be helpful getting used to watch the video slowed down. I think we will have to watch and just see what we can catch and see how it turns out. Okay, so the character meets somebody.
10年。
And that supposedly means, has it been 10 years?
10年。いや、それ以上ぶりか。
He then says maybe more, and I'm going to add some more information between these brackets because if I don't have the context of the sentence, I might not be able to understand what these words are referring to later on. In the sentence in English, there is no verb, but in Japanese, they might be using it, and I just can't tell which one of these words is the verb.
高校以来だから。 そうだね。
Here we have the same problem again, which is that we don't know what goes together to form a word, or at least I don't know. I am able to catch the words he's saying, at least mostly, but I am still not sure which parts go together, because the pronunciation they have is better, or not better, but just more understandable to me. I don't know if in the case of sodane, if it goes together or if it's two words. I do have some more information because I have heard the word so in other cases, I think, separate from the other word. And I think what it means or how it is used is to modify as a modifier of other words. I think it might mean a lot or something like that. Let's add the translation. I don't think dakara and so mean high school. And I don't think it's dane either. I think this must be the word that means high school. I'm going to mark these words with the same color because I think they mean the same. This color is too similar to the other one that I used.
でも、大した考えもないか。
He says something that sounded like sh, and then he says demo, which I think means but or however. It's not a problem though. One of these words must mean problem. Maybe this part means not, and then this word must mean problem. I don't want to spend too much time on one sentence because it's almost certain that I have got something wrong. And again, right now it's about catching as much as we can, and that's enough for now.
別に仲良かったわけでもないし。
そうかな。僕は中内くんのこと。
The translation of sokana is really? I think a more literal translation is it so? That's what I wrote in Spanish. We just saw this sentence where there's a so in Japanese and a so in English. What I'm trying to explain and understand here is that the Japanese so might mean something like therefore and also like this, and that the same word could be used for these two different meanings because in Japanese it might make sense, and we can try to understand what that sense is by playing around a little with the word. We have the actual idea or meaning that we are trying to express, and then the words used to express that meaning can vary from one language to another. Maybe the words they use in Japanese to say really mean more something like therefore, is it true, or is it like this? What I'm hearing here is Boko a Nakauch, where Nakauch is the name of the character. And then he says Kono Koto. Okay. So then this means, but I remember you very well, Nakauchi or Nakauchi. The I doesn't sound much. I vaguely remember the words kono and sono, and I don't know if they are Japanese words, but I guess they are because I'm seeing one of them here, and I think they meant this and that. But why is this being used here? I don't know. Oh, but maybe in Japanese they are saying, I remember this Nakauchi very well, this one, the one who is sitting in front of me. I kind of get goosebumps with these kinds of things because it's so exciting to think that this is the way they speak in the other language, and to think that I'm getting into something beyond just understanding words, which is actually understanding how you speak in Japanese in this case. I speak 3 languages and I see the differences between them. Sometimes I think about a word and then I think it's interesting that we use this word to convey this meaning. Let's go ahead and mark these words with the same color to indicate that there might be a link. And then the question is, which word is remember, this one or this other one?
よく覚えてますよ。
Wait a second. I didn't realize that he wasn't finished talking and I was trying to link every word in Japanese to an English word.
僕は中内くんのことよく覚えてますよ。
Why did I write down this word? I guess I thought that's what I was hearing. Now I think I'm hearing something different.
変わってないな。
I would think that this means change because I think they start the sentence with the verb. There's one of my favorite words, daijoubu, which I think means are you okay? But I guess it could be used in other similar ways. Kun is clear what it means because anime and manga have told us so many times. It is the word they have to add when they call another person by their name, and they use it to talk to a classmate or a friend, that kind of people. It is quite informal. And then he says something daijoubu. And it means, are you feeling better, Nakauchi? And then this would be better, which is mejor in Spanish. But I don't know if daijoubu is a verb and it means feeling better altogether, or it might be an adverb and mean better. But then we have another word here which might be the verb. Let's leave it like that for now. I love it. How would we say yes in Spanish without using our word, but rather a sound? Maybe it could be something like, I don't know if that's exactly what they are doing in Japanese. Maybe o means yes, but it seems to me like that's what's going on. Because to me it seems more like a sound than an actual word. No se me ocurre ahora mismo. Y tampoco sé a veces si estoy mezclando el sonido que haríamos en español para decir sí con el sonido que haríamos en alemán. It's also funny to me when I hear words that sound like English. Like in this case, prindoto sounds to me like print. I think it must refer to the handouts. He starts the sentence by saying kore. Maybe he's saying, here you are. And kore is the word he uses to offer his classmate the handouts for him to take. I'm going to make a note here about that. I think I'm going to move on because it seems like this sentence contains words that are too difficult right now.
全部自分で作ってるんだって。まあ親も忙しいし。だし巻き卵にきんぴらごぼう。
I'm not going to learn the different dishes right now.
一流レストランで随分活躍してると風の噂で。
まあな。
カクテルの味はどうですか？
I'm going to give this sentence a try, but I'm not sure. I feel like there is at least one word in this sentence that I'm not catching. Now I get it. He was saying ado desu ka.
カクテルの味はどうですか？
Let's start with the easy part. Cacte is the cocktail. What do you think of your cocktail? What do you think about your cocktail? Is he asking him if he doesn't know how to make a cocktail? Oh, I get it now. He's saying, do you like the cocktail I served you? This is the verb to be, which I don't know what it is referring to right now. Ga, I guess, is one of the endings that they add to some words. Cocktail something something is. Maybe it could be your cocktail you think is good. I don't know which one of these words means think, and I can't find out anything else about this sentence right now.
よかったらアドバイスいただけたら。
いや、甘くて美味しいよ。
Here I'm thinking about the word this guy again. What I'm trying to work out here is that maybe the reason in English we are seeing the verb think, but in Japanese we are seeing des, which means to be, is that what they are saying in Japanese is literally, how is your cocktail, but the real meaning of that is, what do you think of your cocktail? So they are using the words, how is your cocktail, but they are saying, what do you think of your cocktail?
いや、甘くて美味しいよ。
He says, yo aguacto ishio or something like that. And the translation is, well, it's sweet and delicious. Clearly this yo means well, which could indicate that the person is making time to think. And one of these words must mean sweet and the other one delicious. What I don't see here is the verb to be. It might be that sweet and delicious is just one word, awakto, and ishio might be a variation of the verb to be. Who knows?
いや、始めてまだ1ヶ月だね。
雨宮がバーテンダーになってたとは意外だったけど。
There's another word in English, bartender.
自分でも想像してなかったよ。
この仕事長いの？
This character I'm having more difficulty understanding. It might be because he has a different accent or something like that.
いや、でもなんでまたお前が？
This sentence has caught my attention because I do know the word nande. I think it means, was it how or who? Let's add the translation first. So it has to mean why. This guy is probably the same one as in desga. Omai means you. There are also several ways of saying you in Japanese. There's this movie, Kimi no Nawa. Kimi is another way to say you. You as in your name, which is the title of the movie. Omai is another way to say you, and I don't remember what the difference is, but I guess it might have to do with how much you know the person. This is all for today. Obviously, we won't get any clear results just from doing this for half an hour, but it's helping us get familiarized with these languages. And the more we practice, the more we will learn. When you learn through play, it is easy for the things you're learning to stick because you are driven by curiosity and enjoyment. And that same curiosity might help us even further because we will want to know what words mean. It's not about not working hard, but about getting motivated to do the hard work. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.